have tremendous energy. The Democrats don't. They don't have any energy.
Let's come together. Let's unite behind the only campaign that has beaten Donald not once, not twice, but now 3 times across the country.
6:51, Super Tuesday is now in the books. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton winning big, but not winning everything. To talk about it, Stephen Roberts, ABC News political analyst. Stephen, what are your initial thoughts as you watch what happened last night?
Well, I think the Democratic race is over. Hillary Clinton now has a lead of well over 600 delegates. That includes the superdelegates, who are the party leaders who are given seats at the convention and not subject to the mandates of the voters. And given the fact that the Democrats don't have any winner-take-all primaries, it could be very difficult for Sanders to make up that ground, as Hillary Clinton well knows, since that's exactly the position she was in 2008 and couldn't overcome Barack Obama. And I think both candidates acknowledged that last night. Clinton never attacked Sanders, barely mentioned him. Sanders says, look, sometimes you run not just to be elected, but to influence the debate. And that tells me the Democrats are well on their way to unifying behind Hillary Clinton. On the Republican side, Donald Trump, yes, he had a very good night, but he did not break 50% in a single state, which means that a majority of Republicans in every single state voted for someone other than Donald Trump. That tells me that while Trump is very much on the way toward the nomination, the splits in Republican ranks are much more significant, McGraw, than in Democratic ranks. The vitriol and the anger is much deeper. You saw that last night with Rubio attacking Trump the instant he got up and repeating his line about Trump being a con man. So if this is the first day of the fall campaign, and I think it is in many ways, Democrats have a big advantage because they get much closer to unifying around their candidate than the Republicans are to unifying around Trump.
So it looks like there's almost 3 parties. There's the Democrats, and the Republicans are breaking into 2 parties as we watch. Many are openly hostile to Donald Trump. Many in the party establishment. You've got Paul Ryan. You got Ben Sasse, the governor, the senator from Nebraska. So is there enough momentum with Cruz and Rubio, both, or Winnie and all, that can sustain to keep Trump at least at bay until they get to the convention?
I tend to doubt it because, we've been talking about this for months. As long as the opposition is fragmented, and let's remember John Kasich came in second in several states last night, further fragmenting the opposition. Carson, a non-factor. But those 3 are going to stay in. They're going to continue to fragment the opposition. They're going to continue to attack each other. And Trump is loving that. And the other factor is people talk about a brokered convention. They talk about the party somehow organizing to stop Trump, but there is no party and there are no brokers. Trump is totally immune. He raises his own money. He spends his own money. He communicates directly with his own followers. He has his own organization in cyberspace. What mechanism is out there for the party to exert any leverage at all on the outcome? The answer is virtually none. And the other tip-off last night, it was fascinating, McGraw. Rubio gets up and starts bragging, and he says, 5 days ago, we decided to start attacking Donald Trump, and we've already bit into his lead. 5 days ago? Donald Trump has been running for president since June, right? And that is a perfect illustration of how feckless the Republican opposition to Trump has been. They try to wish him away. They were afraid of his retaliations. They wanted to inherit his supporters. And now, 5 days before Super Tuesday, they start attacking him. You talk about too little, too late. This is just absolutely classic case of that.
Why don't these power brokers who are trying to raise all this money, the Karl Roves of the world, who are so angry at Trump, why don't they talk Bloomberg or Romney to run as a libertarian, independent, whatever else, and sort of broker it that way?
Well, that would only lead to they got to worry about the down ballot as well. Trump, some Republicans already starting to write Trump off, at least according to a New York Times story the other day. Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader in the Senate, convened a meeting in which he said, look, to Republicans who are in marginal seats, you've got a lot of Republican senators up in difficult races in Pennsylvania and Ohio and Wisconsin. saying to them, start forming a strategy where you're saving yourself. Start thinking about how you can make ads attacking Donald Trump and separating yourself and arguing to the voters, look, if you're going to have Hillary Clinton as president, you need a Republican Senate to balance her off. By the way, that's exactly what happened in 1996 when Bill Clinton was cruising to a second term against Bob Dole. By midsummer, Republicans were starting to argue, okay, you want Clinton in the White House, you got to have a Republican Congress to hold his feet to the fire. So that's really where a lot of Republicans will start putting their focus, is holding on to the Senate if they possibly can as a way of checking and balancing Hillary Clinton, particularly on issues like judicial appointments.
That is Stephen Roberts, ABC News political analyst. Stephen, thanks for checking in.
Sure.
6:50.